Disclaimer: my weight shown in the pre-bumper of the video is purely fictional. Any resemblance to my actual weight is purely coincidental. Hey folks, here Rachna Ranade here, and I welcome you all to another amazing lecture. What it is on? We are going to talk about that. But before it, in the pre-bumper, you might have seen that there are some people who, even if smell nice food, their weight increases. But there are some people who are too good to be true that even if they hog like anything, there'll be not even 1 gram increase in their weight. So like such too good to be true people, there are even such too good to be true companies who are also performing very well in the current scenario. So, which are these companies? What space are they in? What is their rate of growth? Everything is what we are going to discuss in today's video. So let's quickly understand the selection criteria for today's top 2 stocks. Number one, we have chosen these stocks from the service sector. Believe it or not, whatever stocks we have covered on our channel till date mostly cover the manufacturing sector. So this is something different that we are trying to do today. Number two, both these companies are going to have a strong online presence, and because of which they are going to have a good protection even in the current pandemic situation. I'm sure you might be aware that there are many sectors which have taken a big toll because of the current pandemic. Well, there is one sector which is construction sector, which is going on very heavily right next door, and that's why you might get that tuck 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 noise in between. But let's just ignore and move on, right? Let's move on with point number 4, which we have chosen is the market share that the company has. We have tried to filter out those companies which have more than 60% in the total market share. And the last point that we have considered is that ROCE, return on capital employed, should be more than 50%. Lots of fun facts coming in till the end, so don't skip the video in between. The very first company that we have chosen for today is IndiaMart Intermesh Limited. The co-founder of this company, Mr. Dinesh Agarwal, was initially working with HCL in America. He was so much impressed with internet. He realized that there is a lot of potential in the internet, and he found that there is a big market. Which one? India. And that was the reason why he thought of moving from USA to India along with his few cousins. They came here and they established the portal indiamart.com way back in 1999. At that time, it was the very first and the largest B2B digital platforms in the country. Even today, it is the largest digital B2B platform in the country. Now, you might be wondering, what is a digital B2B platform? So just as an example, if I compare it with Amazon, Amazon is big, agreed, but it's a B2C platform, whereas IndiaMart Intermesh is a B2B platform. Just to give you a simple example, when I started my own small business of t-shirts, I would not be sure about who is the wholesaler who can sell me plain t-shirts. I didn't know from whom I could get it printed. So for that, actually, I looked up on IndiaMart Intermesh first. I found out who are the suppliers who can give me the best quote, and based on that, I decided my suppliers. So that's how a B2B platform can work, right? IndiaMart, when it started in 1999, at that time, it had only 1,000 listings. And at that time in India, we had only 15,000 internet users. But today, it has more than 6.4 million suppliers. It has currently more than 119 million buyers. And it also has 71 million plus products listed on its website. Today, the company's market share is more than 60%. Now let's understand a bit about their finances. If you check out the revenue from operations, the chart is impressive. The graph is continuously in an upward trend. Even if I were to tell you a 5-year, 3-year and TTM stat, you can check out that 5 years on an average sales growth has been 29%, 3-year CAGR has been 26%, and trailing 12 months has also been 9%. Now if you check out the EBITDA and margins, it has grown from a negative figure in 2016-17 till a very big positive figure in the financial year 2020. Even if you check out their profit margins, the 5-year CAGR is 40%, 3-year CAGR is 62%, and TTM for profit growth is a thumping figure of 104%. If you check out their ROCE, if you remember, one of our parameters was ROCE greater than 50%. What is the ROCE for this company? It is 83.9%. Amazing figure. ROE is also 67.7%. Debt to equity is 0.17. What do we mean by 0.17 of debt to equity? almost negligible debt, right? It's a very good debt to equity ratio. And as a result of all these amazing financials, you can see that in the last 1 year, the stock has increased by almost 250%. Now let's check how the Q3 result was there for the company. Q3, for those who are the newbies, we are going to compare Q3 YOY, means how the company performed from September to December last year versus September to December this year, right? Now if you check out very carefully, the revenue from operations has grown by just 5%. Okay, it's positive, but it's 5% only. How about EBITDA, earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization? That has increased by 88%. A 5% rise in sales has given an increase of 88% in EBITDA. If you check out PBT, that is profit before tax, it has increased by 100%. Now we try to go into the details of expenses, what happened. So actually there was a cost reduction, cost cuts in what? In power, fuel, advertisement, printing stationery, traveling and few other expenses, because of which the profit percentage increase is much more than the sales percentage increase. So let's now check out the stock price movement. Now you can see that on the listing day, the stock closed at around 1301 rupees. When I'm shooting the video, 16th of April, today the latest price, whatever I can see, is 7,978 rupees, which translates into an absolute return of 513%. My God. And see, the listing happened in 2019 and we are in 2021 right now. So if you check out the 1 year price return also, it's like crazy, 264. Now I'll tell you a very dukh bari dard bari kahani. I had got the shares of this company in IPO. Now you might be like, so what is the problem? I had got the shares in IPO, but I sold it right there when the stock was around 2,500. Why? Because I was happy that it has doubled, but loss of profit gives much, much more pain than actual gain. The second company that we are going to talk about today is CAMS. It's Computer Age Management Services Limited. Now, what does this company do? It's an RTA, registrar and transfer agents for many mutual fund houses in India. It provides an array of services, a lot of services. Like what? Number one, it is into electronic payment collection service. In simple words, what does it do? I'll tell you. So many times it happens that whenever we want to purchase mutual funds, we'll give a standing instruction to our bank that debit this much amount and automatically we'll connect it with one of our portals through which mutual funds will be bought, right? So what is the job of CAMS? It is to check has the money been debited? Okay. Have the units been purchased? Okay. Have they been credited to the demat account? All these things are to be checked by whom? By CAMS. Are they going to do it free of cost? Obviously no, they are going to charge a fee for that, right? So that's the service number one which is provided. Service number two, it's an insurance repository service. Means what? In simple words, they help to convert the insurance policies into the demat format, right? Point number three is that they provide an AIF service. What does that mean? They provide services of accounting, reporting and record keeping of the mutual fund unit holders, and this service is obviously provided to the mutual fund houses. Number four, they also provide non-banking services for banks. What do they include? It includes basic points like facilitating the loan processing and all that. These are allied services, right? Fifth one is KYC registration agency. It's a agency which checks the KYC, which does the KYC formalities. And last one is they also provide software solutions to mutual funds. If you want to know more about CAMS in detail, the business model in detail, we've already covered that in this video. So after you end this video, you can have a look at this video. Now let's check their financials part. The revenue from operations from 2017-18 to 2020, it has grown from 6,415 million rupees to 6,996 million rupees. So if you check all in all, the 3 years CAGR has been at the rate of 13%. Even TTM, which I'm talking about, is not that great, but still it's 2%. If I'm talking about EBITDA has grown from 2,403 millions to 2,607 millions. So if I check out the profit percentage CAGR, it has been it was 3 years CAGR was 14%, but TTM is at 50%. So you can check out TTM sales growth was just 2%, but TTM profit growth is a whopping 50%. If you check out the EBITDA margins as well, they have been pretty much stable, always above 30%. If you check out the ROE and ROCE, there comes the fun part. ROE is 36% and ROCE, if you remember the filter of more than 50%, here ROCE is 51.2%. Debt to equity is also zero. It means that it's a perfect cash rich company. These are a few highlight points of the Q3 results of CAMS. All the rupees are in millions. If you check out the revenue from operations, it has grown at 6%. The EBITDA has grown at 12% and PBT has also grown at 14%. Now look at that stock price. The issue price of this stock was 1,230 and it got listed on the stock exchange at a 23.41% premium. It got listed at 1,518 rupees on 5th of October 2020. But what is the scenario today? The latest price of CAMS as I am shooting the video is 2,066 rupees, which is almost up by 47%. There's one more thing if you can spot. That last big green candle and even one candle before that. So two back-to-back green candles. What's the reason? The answer of this is coming in the next part of the video. Now let's understand the reason of those two big green candles. Two news were announced back to back. Number one was that the company announced that after 9 months of net outflow from mutual funds, in the month of March, there was a net inflow of mutual funds. Just to give you a simple example, assume that in the month of August, 100 rupees, just as an example, 100 rupees were invested in mutual funds, any mutual fund, all mutual funds put together, and 120 rupees were withdrawn from mutual funds. Okay, so I can say there was a net outflow of 20 rupees in the month of August. Got it? So similarly, there were 9 months back to back when there was a net outflow, and finally in the month of March, there was a net inflow. What's so special about March? It's a tax season March. Now what happens? Many people want to save their taxes. Tabhi jaag jate hai wo, and that is the time when they understand that I need to save some money and they'll invest in ELSS, equity linked saving schemes. That's the reason why maybe it saw a very good inflow. More and more the performance of the mutual fund industry improves, it's going to be better and better for a company like CAMS. That was the first news which came up for CAMS. Second one was that they also issued ESOS, which is employee stock option schemes, to their employees who were also the existing shareholders. They gave shares worth amount of shares or the number of equity shares were 34,482 equity shares of 10 each were allotted to their employees for ESOS, and both these news all in all got a good cheer in the stock price. Now let's understand few special points about CAMS, because I ideally have told you a lot of points, but still ji lalchaye rahana jaye, dil mange more kind of a thing. Let's talk about few more special points. Number one, the company is largest registrar and transfer agent in India of all the mutual funds put together. Number two, if I talk about how much market share they have, they had a market share of 61% 5 years ago in 2015 March, and now it has grown to 70% of the market share. Third point is that they have service. The company services AAUM, average asset under management, worth 19.2 trillion rupees. Now number 4 is also an interesting point. Out of 16 mutual fund houses, if I take top 5, okay, out of top 5 mutual fund houses, the company services 4 mutual funds. That's an amazing thing, right? And one last interesting stat is that a ratio which is average AUM versus GDP. Okay, how much money is invested in mutual funds in comparison to GDP? Okay, in USA this ratio is 120%. In a country like Brazil also it is 68%. Just to give you an example, if GDP is 100 for Brazil, 68% goes to, so 68 goes to mutual fund investment. Is basically the AUM. Okay, AAUM. South Africa, it is 48%. India, it is 12%. So is there a huge scope of improvement? Answer is yes. If this increases, obviously it's a good sign for a company like CAMS. Well, I hope you have enjoyed the analysis of these two companies, but wait, I've also talked about one more company, but in my blog on my website, rachnaranade.com. So don't forget to visit our blogs section. Till then, take care, Jai Hind, and bye-bye.